I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spotlight Over the City. I'm your host, Stan Long, along with the super duper one and only Dana Dane. What's up, Dana?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our last show of Spotlight Over the City. I just want to start off by thanking everybody that's watching, everybody that tunes in with us every Thursday at 7 o'clock. My Facebook, I just started doing Facebook Live like, 3 weeks ago? But I appreciate you. Right. I appreciate you all for tuning in, too. So I'm just happy to still be here to end 2017.
Yes,
and to see what's next.
Yes. Good, man. We love you guys for tuning in. We have had an amazing year this year. We've had some amazing guests. Still continuing to have amazing guests. We got the one and only D. Floyd, the legendary D. Floyd, in the building once again. This is another legendary show. So thank you guys for tuning in to Spotlight Over the City each and every week. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dana, for being such an amazing host for this whole. It's been almost a year?
It's been a year, yeah.
So thank you guys for the support. Now, today's a party day, so we're going to turn up. It's the last show of the year. Everybody in here getting turned up. We lit, so get your drinks up, get your whatever up, and that's what we do in this show, so stay tuned for that. So we're going to go right into it because we do have guests. So, Spotlight Over the City, we got Spotlight News. Today is happy birthday to Denzel Washington. I salute him, too, because I love him. What's your favorite Denzel film?
What's my what?
Favorite Denzel movie.
I am so not good with movies. Like, I can't even tell you, and that's sad. I should be able to, I can't even tell you one of the movies that Denzel played, and I've seen him in so many, but I don't know.
American Gangster.
I ain't see that.
That would be my favorite. Training Day and
American I saw Gangster. Training Days. Okay, I like that.
You didn't see American Gangster?
No.
Come on, man.
Let me tell you, there's so many movies I haven't seen. I never watched Scarface.
We're going to take her back.
So many. I've never seen Scarface. I've never watched Roots. I never watched Roots. It's so many movies that I have not seen. I really haven't.
But you got to see American. You and B need to watch that.
And I'm pretty sure he's seen it.
Yeah, but he would definitely love it if he haven't. So happy birthday to Denzel. He's turned 63 years old, and that's a big accomplishment. But more than ever, I celebrate him because he hasn't been in the news with no foolishness.
He sure
been in the industry over 20-some years.
And married.
Married. Happily married.
Oh, wait a minute. He had some. Wait a minute. Yeah, it was a little incident with Denzel. No, correct me if I'm wrong.
Denzel had an incident.
No, correct me if I'm wrong. And you all helped me too.
Okay, what'd he do?
You didn't hear that Denzel was messing with Sanaa Lathan?
But if he was,
thank you. D. Floyd just said he heard that. I did hear that. I heard I heard that Denzel was messing with Sanaa Lathan. I did hear that.
Now Denzel,
we don't know if it's true, but that was a rumor. It was on the news. It was on TMZ.
I don't condone cheating, but Denzel, if you cheated with Sanaa, you made a good selection. Now I will say, if you gonna do it, you gotta select well. Now you can't just jump off. Jump out there and just sling it around. You gotta do it with somebody who's. So, hey, I don't condone no cheating, but if that's what you did, man,
you get a pass.
You just that one. You gotta let him have that one. In 20-some years, he's been faithful in the industry.
Is this woman supposed to be able to get a one? Is his wife supposed to be able to get that one celebrity? Hello?
He had to close his eyes on one.
Okay.
But you gotta understand, with a status like a Denzel Washington, you have women, old, young, middle-aged, men, everybody who's chasing you around repeatedly, daily. Right, chasing you around every day, repeatedly, right? So of course that is an open door to cheat every single day. And guess what? These are not just average women. A lot of these women are dimes and dubs, and
they would be average if they weren't celebrities.
Yeah,
a lot of them would. So if someone keeps chasing you, you're supposed to be like, okay. Exactly. Thank you, sis. I'm glad you said it. We need to have mics around here.
We're gonna ask D. Floyd how he stays.
Because he's sitting here shaking his head. He's over there shaking his head to what we're saying.
Pull up on you, D. Floyd. What you gonna do, D. Floyd? If Sanaa pull up, what are you gonna do?
We're gonna wait till you get up here and make him answer that.
I can't do nothing, baby.
Now for those of you that can't hear, I'm gonna let him do that. His wife just asked him from the sidelines, if Sanaa pulls up on you, what are you gonna do? That's what his wife just asked, and
all I can do
he
is
kind of got stuck.
I could say, Sanaa, you so bad. It's wrong timing. The timing though, Sanaa. Because if it was another time, though, Sanaya, I'd tie you up. You know what I'm saying?
So you shouldn't get a pass.
I said I can't. I don't want no trouble, wifey. That's what I was saying. I was saying for D. Floyd can't do that.
You went on D. Floyd.
Yeah, I wasn't saying stand long. I was talking about Floyd. Yeah, you gotta put it on me. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, y'all
So
are crazy.
Anyway, we got another birthday. Not my favorite artist, but he deserves a happy birthday because he's a great artist. John Legend. Happy birthday, John Legend.
I like
39.
John Legend.
His voice
Happy
is 103, but he's 39 today.
Yeah,
I thought he was at least 86.
Right.
When I first heard him.
I love him.
Take it slow. Oh. All that right there?
Oh, we're
Don't
gonna
do
need
that.
somebody else to give us an example of that one.
That's not how you do it.
We get your
Okay, so
point.
happy birthday, homie. 39 years old today, a.k.a. 87 in his past life.
Yeah, I like
that's
him.
what it is. But I do like his music, some of his music. He has had two of them that I was like, yeah, get it, John Legend. The other ones, I thought it was Al Jarreau. I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, on to the news. This one right here was kind of sad. Alabama police officer under investigation for a brutal beating of a 17-year-old left this young man really in bad shape. Cracked eye, his eye sockets was cracked, brain swollen, all of these things because he was allegedly seen coming from around a building that was supposedly closed after hours at about 11 p.m. And the officer pulled up on him and saw him, and he fled the scene. And when the officers caught up with this young man, they did something, different with him. So I'm gonna follow through with the case because I try to shine a light on these type of cases to say, come on, man, like this is crazy. We gotta chill out.
And it's so sad, Stan, because we have been talking about these type of cases since the beginning of the year, since our first show, and we have not missed a beat. It's sad.
Well, the saddest part for me is that this has been happening for so long. It's just that now we have cameras. And we have people who catching these footage on camera. And we have all these different social media outlets that's allowing people to be a part of it. But it's been happening.
So imagine how many people have been going through it. You're right, tons and tons of people.
That's a good way to look at it, Dana. Just think about how many people have been subject to police brutality.
Without the cameras, yeah.
And I mean, been dragged, beaten, this and that. And
set
worse,
up.
Burned, just hanged. Just everything that can happen to a man. And you don't know, though, because nobody had cameras. Nobody was bold enough to go police officers and tell it. So fast forward today, you still seeing those same things happening.
But you know what? It's kind of sad because even though we have cameras, we are watching. We have watched the camera with our own eyes and seen police shoot people that they should not shoot. Seen police beat people that they shouldn't beat. Yeah. See police kill people and they still got off. So it's like the cameras, are they really effective?
Well, that's another thing they were saying. The body cams, a lot of times they don't turn on the body cams when they up to mischief. They keep the body cam off. Right? What y'all think about that, Facebook? They keep them off. So when they don't have the body cam on, you can't force them. Like, you don't know what happened when they didn't have the body cam on.
They should be made to have the body cam on. When they come to work
when you're on duty,
and they put that on and they're on duty, like you just said, they should be forced to wear that body cam. Yeah, it shouldn't be an option for them to turn it off. Why are you turning it off?
And why are you turning it off?
Right,
that's a good question. So back to your point with Eric Garner, that's what came up. When you said choking and this and that, because that's a young man that got choked in New York. Well, unfortunately, his daughter had a heart attack. Just yesterday, I think it was yesterday, she had a heart attack, Erica, and she is actually fighting for her life right now in a very serious condition. So we'll pray for Erica to get better. She had a massive heart attack.
How old is she?
They said, but I didn't write it. I'm sorry, that was on me. I slipped. I don't remember.
That's okay.
But she's not that old. She's not that old. So, that's tough. We got some news. I'm trying to bring some good news to them, but it's been some really crazy stuff going on. Keisha Cole, it's not so bad. Keisha Cole lost a court case. This stemmed in 2014 when she was dating Birdman. She was dating Birdman. I didn't even know she was dating Birdman, but she was dating Birdman.
I didn't know that either.
And she got in her feelings because she rolled up on Birdman's condo. You know how y'all do. You calling. Wifey, you can relate to this. You know how it go, D. Floyd. They call you. And you got somebody in there, so you don't want to answer the phone, and you praying to God they don't roll up on you because you know girlfriend know where you stay, and so you trying to figure out how you going to keep her from pulling up at the condo, and then Birdman ain't do a good job, so Keisha pulled up, and another little young lady was at the place, and Keisha whooped her, like pretty bad, scarred her face up, this and that, put the hands on her.
Whipped the girl.
Yeah. So,
she was mad at the wrong person.
Well, now that's what I was going to get to.
She was mad at the wrong person. If she was messing with Birdman, she was mad at the wrong person.
So if this is a Keisha Cole situation, and like say you, Terry, you roll up on Stan, Are you gonna whoop Stan or you gonna whoop the girl? Who's at fault?
If the girl
Right.
is Dana getting effed up because you.
I'm gonna fight you back, sis. I'm gonna fight you
so
back.
now why? Now see, wait. Now see,
No, I get your point.
but what about me?
I get your point.
No, because if it's a woman who says, well, because men trick people and they say.
We gotta get you a mic.
If somebody they don't know, if somebody you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a woman who you deceived and she didn't even know, she don't
Right.
know nothing about me, I
Right.
can't be mad at her.
Right.
But if
So you gotta get the facts
Right.
first.
you know that we together and you
Right.
still doing that, then you both of y'all got
We
to
did
Right.
wrong. Yeah, I agree with that.
With me, the man,
I agree
with
I
me,
agree with that.
I don't know you. You don't know me, but you know.
So I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her about you though. I didn't tell her about you though. You feel me? I didn't tell whoever did. I'm Birdman now. Stop beating up on Stan. I'm Birdman, and I didn't tell the young lady that Keisha was my woman. You understand what I'm saying? So she shows up, and she's in her.
the bottom line, she should not have been fighting the woman. If Birdman is her man, she should have been arguing and trying to get stuff straight with Birdman, not the girl. That's what's wrong with women on
That's
a
what
whole
happened.
right now. Women get mad at the other woman, like your wife just said. If you don't know the woman, that woman doesn't. She has
don't
no
owe you.
loyalty to you at all. And I'm
And
not
she
even
don't owe
being
you no
funny.
explanation
No,
either, does she?
no. And I'm not being funny. And some people might not agree with this. If it's somebody that if you're not my friend, if I just know you in passing,
Then you don't owe
I
that
don't
loyalty.
owe you no loyalty either.
You don't, but then you shouldn't
That's
mind
true.
getting your ass whipped then
Yeah, that's
because you
true.
don't know me, I don't know you, you ain't my friend, right?
Right.
So,
But
you
we
sh-
don't condone violence at Spotlight.
No, but I see what
we
she's
don't, we
saying.
don't want you to be jumping on your husband because it might be a situation where it just been somebody over there talking business. Like Harvey
First-
Weinstein.
Sis
I
is
could've
not
just
that
called her-
stupid just to jump up and go off for no reason.
No,
if
I'm
she,
not gonna
if
do that.
I know that if she
Nah.
jump off, she know the person you with.
So anyway, I got off subject a little bit, but Keisha got
You got sis over there.
yeah. I got her hot. Now I'm gonna move on. We moving on. So Keisha was being sued for $4 million, but she only
$4
had
million?
that's a heavy ticket, right? But she only got $100,000. So the young lady got $100,000. So good luck to you, young lady. That Keisha was a little bit out of pocket. She probably should have choked Birdman and not you. So
Right.
that's pretty much how they go. She had the wrong guy.
Right.
Happy birthday. I said Denzel. Keisha Cole. Oh, the 29-year-old. Okay, this is, how do you say this? Janae Aiko?
Janae Aiko, right?
Aiko? Okay, so she opened up a cancer foundation just recently, which I thought was pretty big. And she's doing it on behalf of her younger brother that passed away of cancer. So I like to see people doing some positive stuff. So who said something about
Wait a
this?
minute.
They going in.
I just looked at my Facebook Live, and Marlon said, and Marlon, I'm hip. I'm with you on that.
What'd he say?
Marlon just said on my Facebook Live, you better watch Birdman with those dudes. And guess what? Tony Braxton know about the dudes. She don't care. She just trying to get that coin come up.
That's
You're
a whole
absolutely
nother
right, Marlon.
subject now.
You're absolutely right.
Now Birdman admitted to being, now I'm not saying this, it's not even alleged, because I used to say alleged, but Birdman said he was gay. I don't know how you be was
You
gay.
heard that?
Yeah, he said that back in the day, and that's why he.
Yeah, you gotta show me that thing. He said Birdman said he was gay back in the day.
Yes, he admitted to it, and he said he was gay. Not today. He said he was. That
So
was
he's been delivered.
Yeah, that was last week. He was years ago.
Now, who said he said
I'm
that?
gonna find it and I'm gonna make sure, because I have to stamp it. I'm gonna make sure when I come back during the new year, I'm gonna make sure I plug.
So
that
is
and
it
say-
possible to be delivered from gay?
that
being
I can't
gay?
say because I don't know, but
I'm just saying, though, do you all believe that?
I-
That if a man
that's a
was
whole
gay
show.
in his 20s, is he not gay in his 30s, 40s, and
well,
stuff?
what's your man? What's the never would have? Not him. What's the other guy?
Never would have made
What's the
it.
boy?
No,
what's his name?
McClurkin.
Donnie McClurkin said the Lord has delivered him from being gay. Now, what y'all think? Can you be delivered from homosexuality, or is it something that you just have to be if you have that in your spirit,
That's a
that
whole
you have
nother
to
show.
exist with that for life? I don't believe that. I believe that you can be delivered from anything.
No, I think you can. I think
But
you could be over it.
You do.
Yeah,
So
well,
you mean you? So if Brian tells you now he confesses that he used to be gay, that's okay.
I'm done.
He's delivered
wait, no,
though.
wait.
You say you
Wait,
believe that
'cause-
he
'cause
can
he
be
got
delivered.
delivered.
Because I still think on a drunk night, a man might slip up. I still
AB,
think on a drunk night, a man might slip up. So my man could never tell me
He can't
that.
tell you that and then come back
yeah,
later.
yeah,
and be
you could
cool
never
with
tell
you.
me that. You better keep that to yourself and don't never let me find out. Nah.
So
I
now,
wouldn't. But I think it's different from women. It's a double standard, but it's different.
Yeah, it is. So for women, I think that like women, being gay as a woman is a little different perspective than being gay as a man. For one, women go to the bathroom together. They blow kisses at each other. They hold hands. They sleep in the same bed. They get naked in front of each other.
We grind on the dance floor.
With men. None of those things happen with me. Like, I don't know what other men do. But you can't start getting undressed in my room and getting in my bed. And you can't, it's certain. Now, let me take my glasses off. Because I'm for real. Like, listen. A lot of people, I'm not homophobic because I say to each his own. I'm dead serious about that. But I just have what they call boundary. So, you and Malika, y'all can go in the room and get dressed and you can swing them in front of her and she ain't even going to pay you no attention, right? But if D. Floyd come over my house and we get ready and he starts
Look, he like shaking his don't even use me for example.
Nah, D. Floyd, no. That way. So I'm only saying that to say I don't know if that made me homophobic.
No, because most men don't want another man looking at them. I don't think that's homophobic because you can be cordial and cool with somebody that's gay. Like that's not homophobic.
Definitely. And so I think women have a different perspective though because you guys carried a whole lot different when it comes to that. And so if I see two women together, it don't turn me off. Where I see two men together, I'm like. Ugh.
It's a double standard. It's clearly a double standard because a woman, let's use myself, for example. I have been bisexual for years and years and years, and the world knows that.
I got to eat gummy bear on this
one. The world knows that.
Liquor bears.
But at the same time, people will look at me and say, oh, she is bisexual. Or, yeah, I heard that she was bisexual. But they'll look at a man and say, he's gay. It's no, he's bisexual. It's he's straight up gay. And to a lot of people, it's a problem. But with a woman, it's not a problem to a lot of people.
Well, we think that I can't speak for everybody. I think that if you get erect for a same sex, then you automatically have to be homosexual. That's just what I think. But I'm not abreast enough. I'm not really informed enough
The bottom line,
because I don't know.
For me, I think people should do what they feel.
I believe that.
But to a certain extent, I think they should be honest. If you are a man and you like men, I think it's your responsibility not to hide it. But people hide it because they worry about how society will look at them, how their family will treat them. But in a perfect world, you would tell people and people would accept it. But a lot of people don't accept it from men as much as they accept it from women. And everybody, they don't accept it from women. But the bottom line is let people live. Let them do what makes them happy. That's how I feel about it.
So could you date a bisexual man if he was openly telling you?
Negative.
I'm bisexual, but I love you. And
negative.
I'm mainly into women.
Negative. I have to have a real man to be with.
So you don't consider that a real man?
No, because you still twisting and turning.
No.
Yeah, I don't. I couldn't do that.
She's not gonna date him. She gonna play with him.
Okay, so would you play
I'm
with
so
a bisexual
glad you were not
man?
on the mic and nobody over here could hear that foolishness she just said. And I hope people on Facebook did not just hear what Malika Hayward just said.
Malika says, I don't even know because I don't know what that means. Malika, what exactly does that mean, Malika?
Don't you give her no microphone.
I need to hear this one. She gonna do what with him? So it's not a stay, it's a play.
Yeah.
Okay. On that note, I'm gonna read this last one. We're gonna come back to this one because that's one for all of us to talk. We're gonna touch on that when D. Floyd get up here. So on to the last one. Cops believe 22-year-old pregnant woman. This is a pregnant woman was found at the bottom of her stairway, killed in Brooklyn at 9:50 on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day. I thought this was crazy. I'm like, wow. So basically, the husband was in. Let me see what it is. Make sure I got my notes together. Okay, so the husband confronted the people outside about the wife. They must have had a domestic dispute. He had already been like in a situation with her, like prior to that. So then he, this is crazy. He pushes her down the steps, right? And because the neighbors heard them, going into their riff and this and that. So he pushes her down the steps. So everybody was already aware of the situation prior to that. So once that happened, it was just like, oh my God, like, how do you, she's pregnant, right? And she's laying at the bottom of the steps, totally dead, right? 22 years, he died, 22-year-old young man. Okay, well, I can't. Yeah. All right. So anyway, we're gonna move on. Spotlight news. Well, before we go to that, I'm gonna touch on this one because I think this one was like the worst. An Arizona family. This was I had it conflicted. The Arizona family is where it was the Christmas Day. This wasn't Christmas Day. This was Christmas Day. An Arizona family. A 45-year-old man shot his 38-year-old wife outside and then came inside and killed a 10-month-old and an 11-year-old on Christmas Day.
Were these his kids that he killed?
That I'm not sure of. But with or without that known, I think that this shows the deranged. Like, you don't never know who you dealing with. Like, so you should always get as much background and try to cover as much as you can, because who would have thought? Like, this young man, he killed her and then went inside and killed a
People are crazy. Mental health.
And then they had a standoff. So now I'm confused at the police on this one, y'all. Y'all dropped the ball on this one now. Y'all spare him. Y'all shoot out and y'all send robots into this place and everything to get this young man. And y'all shoot out with him, right, for a minute and leave him alive. He killed his wife. He killed the 10-month-old. And he killed the 11-year-old. But you could choke a man on the street because he broke up a fight, allegedly stolen loose cigarettes. And he just died right on the curb, and you just leave him out there dead and handcuffed, by the way. And this young man goes ape on everything, and you come and spare him.
You already know what that is, Stan. You know what it is.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you know
come
what
on,
that
man.
is.
Y'all got to stop this. Spotlight news. This is sport news. This is sports news, and we're going to keep it moving. Deshaun Jackson of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he once played for the Redskins. He allegedly, they say but I don't think it was him. They said that he let a friend of his use his vehicle, and they pulled the vehicle over after it was being crashed. It crashed into a tree or whatever, and they found some marijuana in there. They found like 6-7 grams of marijuana, and they found some bullet casings, which I don't have a clue what the bullet casing was all about. But he said he wasn't home. Allegedly, he was out of town, so they haven't pinned him with any charges. Hope he don't get any charges from it, but you got to be clean, you guys. When you get into that bag, you got to make sure you know who you're dealing with. You got to keep your circle tight. You got to make sure that those people have your interest, because they will screw your money up, because they had you tied to something you don't have nothing to do with, and your bag will be screwed. You'll be in your feelings.
Your life will be screwed.
So, Deshaun, get it right. Get it right, Holmes. So, we get ready to bring on D. Floyd, because we won't hold it no further. We have talked and we have talked and we have brought the news and we have done that. So, Dana, did you have anything you want to touch on before we bring up the one and only?
D. Floyd up here because he has another event to be at, because they're playing at the Paradigm tonight. So we can go to a commercial break, bring him up, and get this interview started.
What time is the show? We'll let him talk about all that when he come up.
Right.
Before we go, Tiffany, gummy bears, Henny bears,
gourmet treats.
Tea Capri. How do you get to her?
These are Tennessee gummy bears, and they are the bomb.
Henny bears, bomb.
Bear,
Get them for your party. Get them for your functions. We go to a commercial. We'll be right back with D. Floyd.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See those superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See those superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See those superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See those superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep modeling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Spotlight Over the City, and we have added us a +1. Look who's in the building. The one and only D. Floyd.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, let's clap it up for him. It's a pleasure to have you on, man.
It's a pleasure to be here.
First, we want to say thank you because literally, let me keep it real with y'all. We said, you know what? We've been so busy. Our last show of the year is coming up. Stan called me. Hey, D, what's up for the last show? I don't know. You got somebody? I don't have nobody either. I said, we need to go out with a bang. We need somebody who's somebody. We need somebody who we would have a great interview with. I said, let me try my hand. I think I just called you like 2 days ago. Let me see if he can fit us in his schedule. It was like 2 days ago. We talked. He said, you know what? I think I can do it. I have to be at Paradigm. Let me check. And he was like, okay, I can do it. So first of all, I just want to start by saying we appreciate you even being here today because we know
It's my pleasure.
you kind of like crushed it in your schedule. So I wanted to start off by telling our viewers, I'm going to let you tell our viewers,
Okay.
how long have you been in go-go?
Wow, I don't know. I had to do the math. I know when I was in high school, it was about 1979 or something like that, and I was at Duke Ellington, and a guy named Troy Smoot and Bobby Smoot asked me to be in their go-go band. It was Chance Band, and
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know what go-go was. I was a little
remember that.
classical
Really?
music. Yeah, I was a little classical music kid and never even heard of go-go. But keep in mind, I mean, this is 79. It was really just,
Starting
go-go was
off.
really just
Yeah.
getting going.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were younger than that. Ooh, I thought you were like my age, but go ahead anyway.
Nah, I'm 53 years old.
Okay. Go ahead,
Yep,
keep
and so
it
that's
up.
kind of how we got started. You know, I started playing with Chance Band, and I think a few years later, the saxophone player for Ray Essence quit, and I got the opportunity to audition, and so I was with Ray Essence from 97 to 2001, and then from 2001 to now, and I've been in my own organization, 911, and we changed the name to Familiar Faces, and we changed the name to Team Familiar.
Wow. So
Team
since the late 70s, I guess that's
Yeah.
when you started.
Chance Band. So I learned something new because I remember they used to crank so hard. I remember them, Petworth. I remember them
my
bands,
goodness,
man.
that's before my time.
And so I didn't know you were part of that organization. I
Yeah,
didn't
in
know
fact,
that.
I played with Petworth.
Yeah,
Chipping
Petworth
them
used
right
to-
up the street,
They
gas
used to
wagon.
crank. Shout out to all my old heads that know what we talking about.
Yeah, because
When
I don't
say-
know what
when
y'all
we say
talking about, but I
Chance
know
Band
people
and
watching
Petworth, You
know.
gotta be an old head for that. But
Right.
that's when Go-Go was like had a lot of little bands that was popping. But Chance was one of those bands who was like the unsung hero. Like if you was a Go-Go head, you knew they cranked.
Right,
Right, so you had
exactly.
to know about them. But go ahead, I ain't gonna interrupt you. I'm gonna let you flow.
No, that's how I got it. That's kind of how I got started. It's a long time ago, and I'm just glad to still be able to.
Yeah, you
Still
still
get a little
here,
something
still
going.
pushing.
So you are legendary. You one of the few people that can say you've
Definitely.
been on the go-go scene consistently for the time frame that you have. Like I listened to one of the tapes where I think it was like a 20-year reunion or something like that, and I was like, wow. So that was an old tape. So I'm like, wow, he been in it for a minute. So
Yeah.
he been in it for a minute.
Yeah, I got in wrestling in '82. I never didn't play. I've always
Nonstop.
been in it. Never no time off. Nothing. We just kept on going.
Wow. And it's so funny because a lot of people have been in the industry for a long time, but it's like you have been popping the whole time. You know what I mean? It's like some people get in a band and they might fall off for a second, but it's like every band that you were a part of, y'all were popping. Well, Lord knows Rare Essence, because I mean, I was a
Yeah.
real Rare Essence fanatic growing up. And so much that my mom and dad, you know, my mom loves you. Oh my goodness. I had a pink and white party some years ago with Sean B,
Oh,
C.
yeah.
Floyd,
Yeah.
Tamika Coffee, and my mother was at the party. Malika, you remember this? My mother, she heard your voice. She said, "Dana, is that the Work in the Walls, man?" I said, "Yeah." You did a song for her. You played Work in the Walls. You was like, "Mama,
man.
come up here, Mama."
I
My
remember
mother
that.
and father loved R.E. They really did. But let me ask you a question on the go-go from now and from back then. What do you feel is the difference? Do you feel like go-go was better back then, or do you feel like go-go on a whole is better now?
I think go-go was better back then, but I love it then. I love it now. I think it was a lot more originality back then, where most of the bands, almost all of the bands, would have 70% original music, maybe 30% covers, and as time went on, maybe with the insertion of Maisha and the Hip Huggers and then settle, and then listen, where it was a heavy dose of covers. And when you got to that point, it was really hard to turn back. You know, a cover makes it real easy. They already like the song, so now you just got to cover that song well, and, you know, it's a lot easier. Where if it's an original song, you got to hope they like it, hope that they like the subject matter, hope the beat is right. And so it's a lot more difficult. But, you know, I love go-go now as well, you know, with the stuff that Backyard is doing and Rare Essence is doing. Obviously, you know, I like my group. And
Yeah, for sure.
I just love the beat, you know. It's just an unbelievable thing. And no matter what goes on top of it, as long as that beat is there, I'm gonna be happy.
So, Sam, do you have any questions? Because I can keep going. I
No,
have
no,
so
go ahead,
many
go ahead,
dang
go ahead.
questions.
I do, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and get some of them out. Yeah, I have questions, but go ahead.
So one of my questions that I had for you, this is something that I've heard a lot of people talking about, and this is something that I'm kind of curious about, and it has to do with Team Familiar. And just let me say this: if it's something that you feel like I'm getting too much into it, you can say I don't want to hear that, and I don't want to answer that. I'm cool with
say
that.
next
We respect
question or
that and
whatever.
understand that.
All right.
But my question to you has to do with Team Familiar. When you started Team Familiar, you all were everywhere. This is my opinion, and it's my opinion. I felt like Team Familiar was like on top of the game. I felt like there was for a while nobody who was out doing Team Familiar faces, because you all were playing every day. It seemed like every day. So, and a lot of times when bands play like that, they wear themselves out. People don't want to keep seeing them. But you all were playing, but the parties were packed. Like, and it was no letting up.
Right.
What do you think gives you all or gave you all that momentum to be the it band for a very long time? What set you apart from everybody else?
I think a lot goes into stuff like that. I think the age group, probably when I left Rare Essence, I was right at about my late 30s. And at that time, Rare Essence had made the decision that they were going to stay young. And a lot of people coming home from jail or growing up, they got good government jobs, they got kids, they weren't interested no more in that rough and rugged kind of crowd and atmosphere. So when I came along, I thought that we offered an alternative. We were still that same kind of flavor. I was still doing a couple of Rare Essence covers and stuff like that, stuff I had written when I was with Rare Essence, but it was a more mature crowd, a more mature atmosphere, you know, and they didn't have to worry about getting in fights and all of that stuff. And so I think for a large degree, I think we came along at a real good time, and we offered a great option for people who grew up on that Rare Essence kind of stuff.
I agree.
Yeah, I saw that.
That makes
transition.
sense.
That did. That was a smart transition.
Yeah, that made a lot of sense, because
Business-wise.
Malika and I, we say that a lot. It's some bands that we want to see, but when you think about that crowd, you're like, man, I gotta just listen to that in the car.
It's like Big G and them. I be wanting to see Big G and them. Like they
so
crank, but
you're absolutely right.
I just can't.
Familiar Faces came in, and
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what happened, because I'm only speaking from my experience. That's what made me comfortable. You could still go out. You saw people that you saw back in the day when we were going to see Rare Essence, but it was a more mature crowd. I think you hit it on the nose. Right. Along with Chuck. I can say that's how Chuck brought out the people who were our age, a little older, maybe a little younger.
There was a lot of them. You know, when Fat Cat came home and he put Subtle Thoughts in Tacoma Station, and he put Lil Benny and Chuck, Lil Benny and Funk on Subtle Stage. Same kind of thing.
Right.
You know, so the pattern was set. We didn't start it. You know, the pattern was set, you know, well before
I
us.
think you all started on a consistent basis. That's what I'll say.
We had a good long run. There's no doubt about that.
Right, because I've even said to myself, this was a while ago, I said to myself, damn, how many nice familiar faces gonna play? But every time I went, the parties were packed. So you all were doing something right. You all were doing something
Okay,
right.
so this is what's been on me and wifey's mind. This is a question coming from her, actually. She wants to know, but I do too, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know, when and if we ever will see a reunion with all of you guys coming back together.
Who was all of you guys?
I'm talking about him, Funk, the original Essence.
White boy.
The everybody that's still, yeah. Of
Will
course
we ever see that?
We want to know if we will ever, because just know, we can only it's just as one show if we could do it, right? We would love to see it because the dynamics, a lot of the people, like you said, that were young are older now. A lot of the young people didn't see it because they were, too young to come to that.
crazy.
A lot of them now know about both bands, right? So I was just thinking that would be like, y'all did?
Yeah,
Y'all did?
no,
Not with the whole.
Not with the whole
shebang.
band,
Hell
but
no.
we did right before. In fact, I guess it would have been 7 years ago. We did. Everybody came back. Funk, Jungle Boogie,
White Boy?
Lawrence the
Yeah.
Maniac, White Boy. We was at the Hyatt, and right after the reunion is when I went back to Rassens for a year.
Really?
Yeah,
I missed that.
yeah,
So we're not gonna do it again because
So
I
we
missed
need
it.
one
So we
more,
need
man.
that
We
again
need-
because I
because
didn't
I'm-
even know that ever happened.
yeah. Everybody came back, and we was at the Hyatt. Hell, we must have had about 3,000 people. It was a great crowd.
I can
it was a great
imagine.
night. PBMC. This is when they had power, and they got the hotel, the Hyatt, and Epic Concepts. It was a great night. It was a.
Damn, I missed that. So are y'all gonna, like Stan said, are y'all gonna?
it a
Do you think that
possibility?
will
Is it
happen
even a
again
possibility?
with all of you all coming back for one night?
The people
or something
want it
like
now.
that?
Just know that I'm stamping it. They're gonna show up. Right?
If I were betting, I would say that it's not going to happen again. But
Ah.
I mean, maybe who knows? Money,
Yeah.
money makes the world go.
Right.
I had already named it, Floyd. I'm just letting you know. it was
Money
called-
makes the
You
world
being
go
honest,
round.
right?
I had bought it back in my mind. It was gonna be the Hustlers Ball #1 all over again. Remember the Hustlers Balls?
All the Hustlers balls.
You remember them?
Manny
I'm
used
one
to
of the only
throw
people
them.
remember.
Chuck Brown used to do it like once or twice a year. Kilimanjaro, all that.
It used to be the bomb, and then I think it got to 9 or 10 or something, and then it kind of fizzled out, and then they kind of just stopped doing the Hustlers Balls. But everybody in the
Odyssey.
city would come out, we'd flash our cars and put on the jewels and drape the minks, and I mean go hard like Detroit. Like it was a Hustlers Ball. Like all the ballers come out and all the women coming out because the ball is out. And it was
I
like,
probably was like 13 to 12. when y'all was
I'm
doing
telling
that.
my age. I'm right behind Floyd. So
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Them Hustlers Balls, man. We need like now the young boys don't know about them. Like they probably never even heard of.
Oh,
them.
somebody on Facebook just said yes.
They know
With
about
like
the Hustlers
5
Ball.
S's. Hustlers Ball was like that.
It was
Mignon
like that,
Brown,
right, y'all?
Hey,
For
everybody
sure.
watching on
I
Facebook.
go all the way back to the Coliseum.
We're not gonna go back to the 70s and 60s. We ain't about to go
go
down
to
memory
Coliseum
lane,
days.
Joe.
Try me. So
No.
go ahead with the questions. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so let's get up to now where we are now. What is in store with Team Familiar? What's going on with Team Familiar? We know that we had some people that left Team Familiar. You had some people that were added to Team Familiar. What's going on with you all now? What's the plan for 2018 with Team Familiar?
You know what's funny is our plan has never ever changed since the day I left Rassens. We always want to get a record and see the world. You know what I mean? That's always been the plan. So many things go into that. You know, you have to have enough money to promote the record to see the world. And so to have the money, you have to control the city. You have to have the crowd. You have to get the numbers. You make the money. You get a record, and then you put it out there and you pray. And so that's always been our objective, is to try and get a record so that we can take Go-Go to the next level. That's why I always thought it belonged. We had glimpses. Chuck Brown, I Need Some Money. Bear. Doing the
But right.
You know, really, Bear had 5 or 6 songs. I mean, people really didn't pay attention to it, but he had an album that had 5 or 6 songs that was in the top 10 in the country. I mean,
Yeah?
wow,
Bear, listen,
in the country.
yeah,
I didn't know
Bear's
that.
resume, just like you might have missed the Rassens reunion.
He said
mean-
we missing stuff, Stan.
Listen, Bear has the best resume in all of Go-Go. I mean, he was on Soul Train. I mean, Don Cornelius Soul Train.
You know what? He
on
was
Soul
though.
Train. I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
that.
He was on
Yeah,
Jay
he
Leno.
was.
You knew that,
He was.
Malika?
He was on Jay
He was
Leno?
on Jay Leno.
He was on Jay
See?
Leno. He was on Arsenio Hall.
Boy, you are teaching me. I didn't know that.
I ain't know
listen,
I
that.
didn't know that.
Now I know
had-
he made a lot of noise with the doing the butt. I know that made a lot of
That's
noise.
why Sugar Bear be
Shake
like,
your
look, I'm the
thing.
man. That's why
Shake
he
your
was like,
thing,
I'm the
Taste of Your
man.
Love.
I love
Doing
Taste
the
of Your
Butt.
Love. That was my joint.
He had a run that was incredible under anybody's standard. Surely nobody in Go-Go has had that kind of run before, that kind of luck. But I just feel like Go-Go is always has that kind of thing that you can get that again, but it just takes
What do you think it's going to take for that to happen?
a lot of luck. I mean, it's just, you know, the line between failure and success has always been
Thin.
extremely thin. Extremely thin.
Very
and
thin.
you know, just a good song. And what happens is so difficult now because we don't have radio support. So to go into a studio and spend $10,000 trying to get a good song is very difficult because you're not gonna get the money back.
Right.
Radio's not gonna support it. Radio's not gonna play it.
And that's
And,
crazy because that's crazy to me. Now, I'm going to be honest about how I feel about that. Just to hear you say that, that's crazy. That's ludicrous to me because go-go started here in D.C. You would think that the radio, if in no other city in the United States, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia would be playing go-go because it started here.
Right.
That is
So I
another
agree.
example of how we don't come together. That's another example. That's crazy. It's ludicrous to me. I'm sorry I had to get that off.
But
my
it's a
chest.
business. Okay, so on a business note, I understand what you're saying, and that's very true. But on a
It's
business
fucked up.
note, from music side, the little bit I know about the music side, you have program directors. Program directors are made to play exactly what they're directed to play. Like they can't just play anything they want. And what they are geared to do is get spins from different. They want to grab an audience from the widest audience possible. Most people only know hip hop, R&B, and stuff like that to be mainstream. So my suggestion would be to try to plug in to hip hop or R&B artists that you could do a track for, and do a hook for, with your band and tie it into and get radio spin. Like if you do something with a hip hop artist right now that's not even from here. A lot of times they think you have to be from DC. It got to be Wale or it got to be it got to
man,
be
when you go
Flop,
outside
or it
of
gotta
DC, that's
be-
when you'll come up.
But you got to grab a person who already getting spins in Philly
Yeah,
and
go
in
out.
Connecticut and in Chicago.
And then come back to DC,
now
and DC give you
it
the
gives
love.
you a spin in Chicago and in Detroit because they are familiar with that artist.
And
See?
they're right. And once they do what you just said, you come back to DC.
then
Then
you
the
make 'em
people
eat
who
it.
should have been supporting you from the start
Yeah.
will start supporting you now because you
Because
get
of the
love in these
spins.
other cities.
See, now Detroit
That's
loves.
how we are.
Now Detroit loves
That's
this
the
band.
truth.
Now everybody's familiar with who this band is
Mm-hmm.
because DC gets known because we so thorough of a city. When we go to colleges and stuff like that, they learn the music through college and people who came down there from DC and the DMV area and they gravitate. But if they hear it on the radio, listen to Wale's joint. What was it? Ask him do number. Was that Wale?
I know you're not talking about. Let me shut up.
Pretty girls.
That's not real go-go.
It got a lot of spins. It got radio play.
Yeah,
It got a
yeah.
lot of spins. People heard it in Philly.
But how
People
did
heard
they
it
do
in
that?
Detroit.
That's my thing. How did they do that? It's
What's
so
your
much
take,
go-go that sounds better than that. I've heard stuff.
Yeah,
that
but
they
they don't.
admit
They
that
not
sound better. How
familiar
did they do
with
that?
no go-go. So they think anything they hear with some rollatons, some congos, and a drum is real go-go. So I'm just telling you because they not
I
from
get
here.
you. I get what you're saying. You're absolutely
so
right.
I know we from here. We can compare and say that's trash or that's just mediocre. Or that's not real. Like when they heard what's the what's the DJ?
The water dance.
Yeah, all that. So we was like, come on.
When you
now.
go out of
But
town-
everybody else was like, get in the water.
Let me tell you, it's been so many times I went out of town. I'd be like, "Can you play some go-go?"
And they gonna
Can
play
you-
that.
I would tell them, "No, do you have this? Do you have that?"
Get
They'll
in
say
the
they
water.
have it, but then they'll play "Get in the Water" and
Right.
"Pretty Girl."
But
I
see,
mean,
that's
I like
my
it,
point.
but we want to hear real go-go.
But see, you say we. That's local. We trying to get national. We don't want to stay local. National money bigger than local money. Local money, you can't even really support local.
So
Local
what you're
people
saying,
don't
like
really support.
real go-go people, they can't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you saying that real go-go people have to conform and change?
They're gonna play real go-go music, but they're gonna pull somebody in from the R&B or the hip hop set.
That makes sense.
And they're gonna stand on that mic and be like, brrr, and they're gonna do it to
That
a go-go
makes
beat,
sense.
a local go-go beat, and then Donnell gonna do the hook. And then next thing you know, they're gonna play it in Chicago and Philly and
That
this and
makes
that
sense.
because you gave it a feel. Dougie Fresh could come here right now and he get with a go-go band. Tell your cousin what I said. Skills. Shout out to DJ Skills. That's her cousin. That's the DJ for Dougie Fresh. Dougie Fresh come here right now and get on stage with a band. It's gonna be lit. You know why it's gonna be
Dougie
lit?
Fresh,
Because it's
yeah.
a different feel. So we recognize Dougie Fresh, but we also know go-go. We know go-go. But when you put another element to go-go, they know go-go. See, so you have to get they to get spins.
Yeah, you're
We
right.
can't get you the spins.
yeah.
They can get you the spins. What you think, down there? Let's talk about it.
You know, there's so many different angles. We Rare Essence did a record with
Look.
Red Man back in
Merry Christmas.
98 or 99. Spent $25,000 for the same
Red
rapper
Man?
with Red Man.
Yeah.
Same guy that you're talking about. Same kind of concept, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
You know, at the end of the day, a good song is a good song, and Go-Go just has to be dedicated to writing good songs, and you know, see what happens.
Because you definitely going to get the support locally. That's a given. But to get to, even to go gold, you need, what, 500,000, right? At least 500,000.
Let's go.
To go gold.
500,000.
So you could do that right here in the district, but the support
You're not
level
going to
be
do it right
kinda
here in the
low.
district because the district is not going to give you love until you blow up. You're not going to do it. You can't do it. You got, and I'm being
You
real.
believe that?
You got to
What
get
you-
the
what you
hell
think,
away
Flo?
from here because they're not going to give you love until you blow up. Then everybody's going to, then you're everybody's cousin. That's my man. You're going to get all the love when you leave here and come back. And that's what makes it so effed up about DMV. I'm from DC. I love my people from DC. But as a whole, we are effed up because we don't support our own. It will be somebody that comes from Philly, California, the West Coast.
Let
who
me
don't
get
give
her
a
for
damn
it.
about
Come
us.
back, baby. Come back.
I'm back.
Come on
Who
back.
don't give a damn about us? They will come
She
here
done lost it.
and no, y'all get what I'm
Wait,
saying.
but
I'm saying
I
what a
agree
lot of
with
people
you.
don't want to say and what people think. They'll come to town. You'll give them all the love. They don't care about you. But this your man. You see this man grinding. You see he's brilliant
Right,
and
right,
all
right.
that. But you won't support him. But soon as he makes it, oh, he got a whole swarm of dudes around him. That's my man. It's so fake. It's messed up here.
But I'm gonna tell you something, Danny. You make a great point, but it's
That's
not
why
just
you gotta
DC.
roll with
It's
the
not
people
just
you
DC.
roll with.
It's
I
just us
can
on
just
the whole.
speak from where I am.
It's
I'm
in
speaking about
Philly.
people here.
It's in the South.
I understand what you're saying.
So what
I'm
I'm saying,
speaking for our people. Our
yeah.
people here are effed up when it comes to support. And
But what I'm
being
saying,
honest.
it's not just here though.
And it's
Like-
not the drinks making
look,
me say that.
Like look at Wale, right? Look at Wale.
No, I mean it.
Drinks Up Thursday. It's our last show for the year, y'all. We lit. As you can see, we lit.
But I'm honest. Y'all know I'm being honest. Y'all know me.
Okay.
I'm being honest.
So
Go ahead,
look,
Stan.
Dana made a good point, y'all, and she's telling the truth. But this is what I'll say: you have to push until they, like Wale. I always use Wale on this one. I watched his career. I watched the people in the DMV say he ain't really from DC. He from Germantown. He ain't really da 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 da. He ain't know this. He ain't know that. You know why? They had never seen it. Who we had before that was multi-platinum or platinum artist or on a big label? We didn't have that, right? So DC in a box. So you have to get them familiar.
bunch of crabs
You
around
gotta get them familiar.
Or
right?
leave,
So guess
leave.
what happened? Guess what Wale
Leave and
did
come
though?
back.
Guess what he did though? He kept pushing. He kept on going outside of the
should.
city. He kept on grinding outside of the city. He still became double MG. He kept on pushing. He kept on, and every time a song come on the radio, they be like, "Yeah, but he ain't from here. He ain't." And then they start dying down a little bit. And then next thing you know, they was like this. Shout out to Wale. Yeah, that's the homie from here.
It's switched up.
That's the homie from here.
Because he got all that.
Yeah, he the homie from here because you can't deny him now. He's a talented artist. Everybody knows he's a talented artist. No, he's not a banger. No, he's not selling dope on there. He ain't got trap music, but he's an artist. And so he's an artist from the DMV. I think we should have saluted that day one. So that's what we got to start doing. We got to start pushing
It won't
before the rest of
happen.
the people push. So
It
by the
won't
time they
happen.
push, we say we been saluting homie. That's from home. He from home. We been knowing about D Floyd and them. They been banging. We've been on them for a minute. That's what we should be doing. We can't just say we know about it. Then when they get a new CD, we be looking at them
It
like
won't
this.
happen. It won't happen till you make it. Once you make it, you're going to have cousins coming out the woodwork. You're going to have cousins
So
coming out the woodwork.
Dana's right. I mean, Wale is far from the first or far from the best rapper out of this city.
Yeah.
Stinky Dink was doing it way before.
Yes,
Way
and Stinky
before,
Dink sure was.
You had Fat Rodney. You had Rapping Rodney.
Tony
You had
Blunt,
all of these
Wild-
dudes, right?
I mean, plenty of people was doing incredible things.
Yeah.
You
So,
gotta
I
get
mean,
that
Dana's right.
support
It's a
behind you.
funny city, and you know, you see other cities when the light comes their way, they don't do that same kind of thing, that crabs in the bucket thing.
Yeah, and that's
Like
what we do.
Atlanta, one person got out, then he pulled the next person up, he pulled the next
Everybody,
person
yeah.
up.
And then they
Yes.
jump right in.
Yes.
And they jump right
Yes.
in. But up
Yes.
here, but the hate though, they be too busy talking about what he's not and this and that. But we gotta get ready to wrap it up, D.
No,
Floyd, 'cause
hold
they-
on. Before
but-
we go, okay, we got a
right.
few more minutes.
Okay,
I
go.
want D. Floyd to tell us what's in store for 2018 for Team Familiar.
Yes.
First, I just want to make sure that we say, we finished this year with an incredible bang. We went to Nigeria,
Wow.
West Africa, and we played
Salute,
for
salute.
we played for the King of Ife, and he welcomed us into his world, and it was just the most incredible experience that you could
That's
ever
awesome.
ever imagine.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so, he also challenged us to put together some music and bring it back to Nigeria and go after a couple of different things. And so we take that challenge. We're going to put together some music for the King of Ife. And
Did y'all hear that? The king.
no,
A king.
This
Like a
was
literal
crazy.
king, though.
He was a real. He was coming to America.
A
he
real
was a
African
real
king.
African king. It was unbelievable. He opened his world up to us, and we didn't want for anything, not 1 second while we was down there. And so
huge.
just shout out to him.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that we are headed for in 2018 is the same.
He
thing
said that's
we've
the only
always-
thing. That's big.
Like, that's the only thing. We're going to go play for this African king.
No, we're headed for a record. We always are always trying to write original songs, always trying to get in the studio and put music together, and it's very difficult, but we just stay after it. People don't even buy records anymore. I haven't bought a record in 10 years. At some point you was downloading just the one record, not the whole album. You just would iTunes decided that you can just
Right.
download the
The
one
whole-
record.
yeah.
But now nobody even does that. Now everything is streaming. You either Tidal or Spotify or Apple Music. We just streaming things now, and so it's very difficult to recoup your money when you pay for your money to go after a record. But still, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
We're considered independent labels, and we
Right.
still try to put music together and try to see the world. That's what we want to do.
And much success to you guys. Right before we go, you guys at the Paradigm tonight?
No, we at the Fast Eddie's each
Oh,
and every
Fast
Thursday
Eddie's.
Oh, I
night.
said Paradigm.
Yeah,
Oops,
Fast
sorry
Eddie's
about that,
tonight, you
y'all.
guys.
I said Paradigm.
Team
Sorry.
familiar,
My fault.
Team
Sorry.
familiar, Fast Eddie's. You
Eddie's
already
tonight.
Allentown Road, right?
What time is it over?
It's over at 12:45.
12:45. They're gonna crank as usual. You
Y'all
guys
see
come
how
out
he
and
came
support.
here?
The one and only D
Right,
Floyd. You
thank
guys
you
give
so
it up for
much
him.
for
We gotta
being
get out of
here.
here.
Thank you.
But before we go, Art Guilliamo. Make sure you check out the artwork. Right?
Let me show my people over here.
It's at Art
Y'all can't see
Guilliamo.
it if y'all don't log on.
This
to
is Nina
WLVS
Simone, the one and only, the
Live, you
activist,
can't
the
see our
R&B singer,
commercials
the
and
one
all
and
the good
only.
stuff we have
And I'm
going
gonna
on
put this
here.
last one up here because he was supposed to be on the show.
Deshaun said, "Write a song for Dana, laughing out loud."
But
D-Floyd.
he did. So this is a picture of Basquiat.
That's
Basquiat is the
awesome.
one you
See,
hear
y'all
Jay-Z
listen
and
to
I'm
art.
rapping
You
about.
listen to
This
art.
is
You
a
gotta
black
go
artist
on
that
the
was a
website.
beast. He patted himself after the one and only, what's my man name, babe?
Don't worry about it. We have to let the next show
we
come
gotta
up.
let
We
the
have
next
Sunny's
show
World.
go. So anyway, give out a shout at Art Guilliamo on Instagram. We gotta go. A wonderful show. Thanks for tuning in again. The spotlight over the
2017.
city.
Y'all make sure
sure you
y'all
guys
come
go
back.
check out Team Familiar tonight at Fast Eddie's. Love hard, live good, God first. Spotlight over the city.
2018. Spotlight over the
I put
city.
the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See them superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep my